branch line is important, and so is Edward. But sometimes the mainline engines run on the branch line, and the Fat Controller doesn't allow it. The Fat Controller sometimes lets the smaller engines take the express, and he sometimes lets them run on the main line. One day Edward brought some trucks to the yard. Gordon was there. He looked miserable. "It's not fair," said Gordon. "What isn't fair?" asked Edward. Letting branch line engines run on main lines," said Gordon. "It's really unusual." "Also, he lets them take the express," said Gordon. "Don't worry, Gordon," said Edward. "I'm sure Boko will let you borrow some of his trucks." Gordon spluttered. "I won't pull Boko's dirty truck," he said. "I won't run on branch lines." "Why not? Would be a nice change." "The Fat Controller would never approve," said Gordon. "Branch lines are vulgar." Edward chuckled and followed him to the big station. Every night, the big engines and the smaller engines usually go to the big station to pick up the passengers. The passengers from other places are wanting to get home. The mainline engines start first and the smaller engines start second. Usually everything runs like clockwork, but tonight there was trouble.
The lady in the green floppy hat was saying goodbye to a friend. It was nearly time for Gordon to start. The fireman looked back towards the guard's van and saw something green waving. "Right away, mate."
He thought the guard had waved his green flag, and Gordon started, leaving luggage, his passengers, and the guard all standing on the platform. Everyone was surprised and cross. By the time Gordon had been stopped and brought back, Edward was already late with his train. So now he set off first. But the signalman at the junction hadn't been told about the change. By mistake, he sent Edward along the main line. Gordon was switched to branch and arrived cold and crushed in one of the sidings near the harbour. The next morning, Bill and Ben peeped into the yard. There were no trucks for them, but they thought teasing Gordon would be a lovely change. "Look, Bill," said Ben. "What's that?" "Shh," said Ben. "It's Gordon." "It looks like Gordon, but it can't be. Gordon never goes on the branch lines. He thinks they're vulgar." Gordon pretended he hadn't heard them. "If it isn't Gordon," said Bill, "then it's just a pile of old iron," said Ben. "Which we'd better take to the scrapyard." "No, Bill," said Ben, "this looks useless for scrap. We'll take it to the harbour and dump it in the sea." Gordon was alarmed. "I am Gordon! Stop, stop!" he yelled and shut his eyes. By the time Gordon opened his eyes and he saw Boko coming towards him, he thought him the most beautiful sight he had ever seen. "Boko, my dear engine, save me!" Boko quickly sized up the situation and threatened to take the trunks away he had bought for Bill and Ben. This made the twins behave at once. Gordon was most grateful. "Those little demons," he said. "How do you do it?" "Ah, well," said Boko, "it's just an act." Gordon still believes that Boko saved his life, but we know the twins were only teasing, don't we? Dun 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 dun.